Hey, everybody. Hello. Dirk Beverage coming to you live from the We Supply America tour, coming at you live from somewhere in the heartland of America, in the middle of Iowa, with the We Supply America RV. We just had a fantastic day here at a different type of distribution company, an agricultural cooperative by the name of New Cooperative in Roland, Iowa. I'll tell you just a little bit about that as we set the stage for our premiere of our fifth episode of We Supply America, featuring the amazing story of Great Lakes Hotel Supply. So come on in. Those of you that are coming in live, please let me know that you're here. Say hello in the comments. Let me know where you're from. Let me know what you're thinking about We Supply America. I really appreciate you being here. I appreciate you following us. And we're going to get this show started in exactly 2 minutes. Thanks for being here, everybody. Hey, welcome everybody. Dirk Beverage here from We Supply America Tour, getting ready in exactly 25 minutes to premiere our fifth episode of We Supply America, featuring the amazing story from Southfield, Michigan, of Great Lakes Hotel Supply. I'm coming to you live from, let's see, Roland. Why do I have so much trouble with that? Roland, Iowa, where we spent the day. The We Supply America store spent the day with the amazing, innovative team at New Cooperative. New Cooperative is a co-op that is committed to innovating, to building their team members, building leaders, creating a culture of family, and they are always focused on achieving something new. They are a co-op, so their customers are their members, and they wake up every day thinking about how they can help their members, those farmers, those producers. Catch this, that farm over 3 million acres of soil. Their customers here in the middle of Iowa. They told me 2 counties over from here, if that county was a country, it would be the 39th largest country in the world in terms of the amount of corn that is grown in that county. It's absolutely amazing. The logistics, the distribution is also equally as amazing. They need to source fertilizer, for example, from Mexico, Russia, Morocco, Tunisia, Canada. Again, the logistics is just something else, and they truly are committed to achieving something new constantly. They just opened up a brand new port on the Missouri River. Who thinks of that type of stuff? Who innovates like that? Well, New Cooperative does. I'll be sharing their story as we go on. So, hey, again, welcome to our fifth premiere of We Supply America, where we're going to be featuring in just about 22 minutes Great Lakes Hotel and Supply out of Southfield, Michigan. So, those of you that are following us, please come on in. Let me know that you're here. I want to say hello to you. Bill, I see you. Daniel, I see you, man. Thanks for saying hello. Why am I here in the middle of Iowa? Well, the We Supply America tour has three phases. Number one, in June, I traveled with a gentleman who you're about to meet, the director of We Supply America, and he and his video team produced these 8 episodes, the fifth one that is showing today. The second phase is that they're shown every Thursday, like today. The third phase that I'm in is right now I'm on a Sea to Shining Sea tour, stopping at 3 to 4 distributors every single week, telling the story, championing the noble calling of distribution. Here's a map of that tour. We currently are in Iowa. We're starting to move west after this week, and we're going to get to see more of the country and more distributors. And I'd absolutely love for you to be there. The stops are fantastic. Earlier this week, let me just tell you about some of the stops this week before New Cooperative. On Monday, I had a chance to be with Michelle and her team, Aaron and the team at Advance in Chicago, and I got to meet the team and understand the culture of one team there. Here's a picture of a family that has immigrated from Venezuela that has absolutely used Advance. Advance is providing the platform for this family to achieve their goals and their dreams. And my goodness, the commitment they have to each other is truly inspiring. Truly, it's noble. On Tuesday, I got a chance to come over to Davenport, Iowa, onto the shores of the mighty Mississippi with Republic, a HVAC and electrical distributor, just a fantastic team that's absolutely committed to them to themselves, meaning their employees, as a family, their customers, their dealers, helping them. So when I was on the roof of Republic at the end of the day, I sent out a little shout out about what's happening to me as a result of this tour. And let me just share that with you real quick. Hey everybody, it's Dirk coming to you on Tuesday afternoon from the We Supply America tour, overlooking the We Supply America RV up on the rooftop of Republic in Davenport, Iowa, also overlooking the mighty Mississippi. And I just wanted to come in here super quick and just let you know how truly inspired I am feeling. You know, we talk about championing the noble calling of distribution, telling the inspirational stories of distributors across this country, and I have to tell you, I continue to be inspired with every individual that I'm having a chance to talk to at every one of our stops. Today it happened to be Republic. Yesterday it happened to be Advance in Chicago. We could go down that list, but I got to tell you something. Something is going through my mind. I think being up here on this rooftop right now and thinking about the stories that people are telling me about what working for these independent, family-owned, ESOP, small to mid-size distributors means to them and their life. And they tell me words like growth. They tell me words like fulfilled. They tell me words like joy. They tell me words like family. They tell me words like bonding with each other. They tell me words about we truly care. And I have to tell you, these stories of people caring about people, their fellow employees, their leadership team, caring about their customers, caring about their communities and what they do. It truly is absolutely amazing. And I couldn't be more proud to be going across this country right now from sea to shining sea as our 8 episodes air every Thursday at 3 p.m. Central at WeSupplyAmerica.net. And all the ones that have already aired you can see on demand at WeSupplyAmerica.net. And I hope they are touching you as they're touching me, because your story, the story of the 30,000 distributors across this country, the 6 million professionals across distribution, absolutely needs to be told. You are the backbone of this country. You built this country. Everything we have, by and large, has gone through your doors, on your trucks, to us in one form or one fashion, and I couldn't be more grateful. So from one individual on the rooftop of Republic, overlooking the RV, once again overlooking the shores of the Mississippi, and being grateful for that which flies above my head here at Republic. From that individual to you, I appreciate what you do. I'm grateful for what you do. And we're going to continue touring this country, championing the noble calling of distribution. Thank you for what you do. So those were some thoughts that I had in the moment on top of Republic, as you saw. And I truly believe that what we are doing crossing the country, yes, we are going to hear the story of Great Lakes Hotel Supply today. Yes, new cooperative today telling their story in real time. But my message is these stories aren't just about them. These are your stories as well. And the 30,000 distributors truly are the backbone of this country, and we need to champion this story. So I would absolutely love to have the opportunity as we continue to go forward to come out and meet each and every one of you. We're starting to go west, where we're going to be heading out to Denver, Boise, Portland, Las Vegas, Scottsdale, Dallas, Houston, and then back up through St. Louis and Memphis right before and after Labor Day. So we would absolutely love to come by your place, to have the tour stop, so that we could tell your story. If you're interested in that, please text meetup in all caps to the number on the screen, 847-744-8570, and that'll get the process started. Okay, everybody? All right, but we are 16 minutes away from episode number 5, the premiere of Great Lakes Hotel Supply. You're going to absolutely love this story, just as you've loved the previous 4. So to begin thinking about this story, we're going to have a little something new today, and I've called it the director's take. And if you take a look at the top of that RV, actually in Detroit, downtown Detroit, is the director of We Supply America, a gentleman who is truly an artist, a creative, a producer, and a true professional who is absolutely driving the creative of We Supply America. And that's my good friend, Jordan Bellamy. Jordan, I would love to welcome you to today's show with just 14 minutes to go until 16 minutes to go until We Supply America number 5. Jordan, howdy, and welcome, buddy.
Hey, Dirk. Miss you, man.
Yeah, no doubt about it. We had some fun, man. We had some fun, and I miss you. And, we did some fun things on the road together, didn't we, Jordan?
We did. Every time you say that there's 3 phases and the documentary was just 1/3 of that, I think maybe I'll just swing by at the next location and
come on, man. I need you. Trust me, I need you. I need you, man. Come on. So let me just set the stage, if you don't mind, Jordan. Okay. Today is week 5 of the premieres of each of these 8 episodes, and we did spend an entire month out on the road together. And you guys, Jordan, as the director of this, has given his heart and soul to this project. And for that, I am extremely grateful. Here Jordan is directing with Stephanie Porter at Porter Pipe. Here Jordan is in Cincinnati, in the distribution center at Wise Way Supply. Here Jordan is, getting the scene just right, thinking through how to tell that story at Benco Dental. Here he is. Well, maybe he's taking a break here, but no, he's not taking a break. But here he is. Oh my goodness. Here he is. Sorry, guys. Here he is at Indiana Oxygen directing things. And then here he is with Mark and Diane up at Southfield, Michigan, talking about getting the scenes right there. So, Jordan, welcome. And you see me pivoting just a little bit because I had a little panic. All this technology, man. I saw the red light on my battery going on, and I'm plugged in. I'm starting to figure it out, but it was plugged into the wall, but it wasn't plugged into my computer. So we're okay. We're going to continue on. All right. So Jordan, You are such an integral part of this as the director. I'd love for you to share with us your take on how this series is flowing together, these stories with the first four. Now we've got Great Lakes, and we got three more coming over the next 3 weeks. I'd love your input on how you see these streaming together.
Yeah, your computer running out of battery is giving me flashbacks of all of the technicals that you gotta, make sure the cameras are charged, make sure the memory cards are working. We were flying through them, and I think the other thing I was going to say is it was amazing to get to capture the stories. But everybody that we meet, every team, I could have spent a week, put the camera aside,
Well
and
said.
just had those amazing conversations. But it was such a joy to be able to capture that on camera.
And Jordan, if you don't mind, what was it? I think this might have been some of the first distribution businesses that you've walked into and the like. What was it that you felt that said, you know what, you would have loved to spend a week there rather than a day at each location?
Yeah, absolutely. And just for context, my filmmaking is covers a pretty broad spectrum. So this content was pretty fresh for me. So my introduction into the distribution world, a lot of that early intake was through conversations with you, Dirk. So there was a lot of prep to be had in those conversations, but I was seeing it with fresh eyes in a way. And
That's
so to take something that's so integral in all of our lives and be able to see not just the amazing personalities and the people behind it, but that there is such an incredible conviction and culture behind the leadership and behind every single player who makes up these independent businesses. So for me, I knew it would be interesting off the bat because of the idea of distribution. But what I was really continually inspired by, and what kept me really wanting to go and dig in, is the depth of the reasons why, the conviction and the drive that comes behind that.
Yeah.
And we talked about, early on in whether you're doing documentary or narrative, you have this hero's journey idea of what does it take to overcome the odds, and where does that conviction, where does that heart come from? And so I think, thinking about this, it's not just episodes that are conveying the same information. I think, we're on the fifth episode now, but it really pays to watch it as a whole because you see the full spectrum of that hero's journey. And Dirk, you and I were talking about who is the hero of this story. And I think it's really democratized to where every single person that we talked to, we got to shine a spotlight, and they proved themselves to be, kind of on that hero's journey.
Boy, I love it. That is such great insight. Jordan, talk about who the hero is. Okay. There's a story about the business entity that we tell. And then there's stories of the individuals, right?
Yeah.
And each of those businesses have their own story. And each of those individuals have their own story. From a creative perspective, right? What goes through your mind in ensuring that we're able to tell both of those stories, the story of the business and the story of the individuals?
That's a good question. And I think the way that these businesses are conducted makes that job even easier, because whenever I talk to an individual, they are connected to the whole. And they're not just connected in a way that is fixed or concrete or has a low ceiling. Everybody is coming from a place of, it could be day one for them, but they see the story of multi-generations of families accelerating and growing. The whole concept of growth was such a big part of that. And so it didn't feel like it's this binary or isolated things of like, how do we connect the dots there? Because even in the businesses, the dots are connected, where if you're day one employee and you have a direct line of communication with the CEO, third generation, there's not a gap an insurmountable gap between rising to the top and really getting that freedom to grow as an individual. So in my mind, those were reflected in each other as the business allowed for the individual to have the as big a vision as they want to.
That's so cool, because you and I haven't really talked about the seven pillars as I'm out here now going from sea to shining sea. How the story that's evolving for me out here. And one of these pillars, Jordan, is in fact people. And as I say, when I walk into these businesses now, I don't see the four walls, I don't see the products on the shelves. What I see is that these independent family owned businesses have actually built a platform for professional and personal growth of the individuals.
Mm-hmm.
I think
Yeah.
I think there are stories among stories in these 8 episodes, and what I'm seeing every day on this tour that as it's ongoing, that these independent family-owned businesses, the leadership, their care, their concern, and yes, their love for their employees, right? They've developed this platform to help people grow and reach their potential. And I think we saw that over and over and over again. Would you agree?
Absolutely. And I know several times I threatened to quit filmmaking and join the distribution industry because I was just like, this is the place to be. But I think the cool thing within these episodes, obviously the distribution industry has eyes on it, but I think it is universally. There's universal takeaways for everyone. I mean, when even last week when we had Wally talking about family heritage,
Yeah.
that deeply affects me and my conversations with my family, and it goes outside of just the industry, and I think that speaks volumes to the culture because I'm getting takeaways, leadership takeaways. I'm getting a new sense of conviction about what I'm up to and legacy. So these are, really transcendent talking points it's really special that it goes beyond.
Yeah, I absolutely love that. Thank you so much. Um, I think I think what you just said is so important and meaningful to me, right? That the lessons are transferable
Mm-hmm.
beyond. Today, we're going to be talking to a food service equipment distributor, right? But the
Right.
lessons are so transferable to there. And I'll also just give then a plug that to everybody watching as you watch the episode, know that there is a downloadable done for you meeting kit so that you can take the information, have conversations with those in your organization. So, Jordan, we are about 5 minutes away from premiering our 5th episode of We Supply America, and that's going to feature Great Lakes Hotel and Supply Company. And we were up there in June with them, and we had an amazing day with them. What do you recall? What are you looking most forward to sharing and showing the world about Great Lakes Hotel Supply in the next 4 minutes?
Yeah, I think there's a lot of heart in this episode. We really got to sit down and have conversations that got deep quickly, and we talked about again more than just the business. So you get a real personal look into people's lives and how the personal care from the top down is making an impact on the business. For me, just really being inspired by it. Yes, the business is going to be successful based on the team working together, but there really does feel like a sincere care for the well-being of each person beyond what happens within the business context. I also love that even their business goes beyond their business. So they're thinking more broadly. They're thinking about community gardens. They're thinking about event space for the community. So that really spoke to me, just to think, how can we make an impact outside of maybe even what we're initially meant to do or good at, that we can think bigger, and the imagination to go there, I think was inspiring. And yeah, it's something that I still think about. I have a desire to make an impact in my community. And so even just seeing the simple ways of reaching out uh, beyond the four walls of the business is really special.
That's fantastic. Jordan, man, I appreciate that. I think it's a great setup. Let me ask one last question. We got 3 minutes until we go live. If you had to use one word to describe what you think We Supply America is all about, what would that one word be from your director's take? What would the one word be?
I can't believe I don't have a canned response
Yeah.
here, because when I was behind the camera, I was like, I was like, is that a hard question or easy? How would I answer that?
You've heard me ask that one word question
I
before?
have that. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Um, oh, this is tough. I would say, I can't say inspiration or noble. I'm going to say conviction.
Okay.
Yeah, I
The con-
think conviction being that, um, in a sense of groundedness, knowing that the conviction behind the interactions with people within the business, the interactions with customers, has a very grounded impact. And, you hear people say throughout the episodes, like, the wiring in the home
yeah.
creates you can count on flipping the light switch, and that the awareness that what is going on here is having a concrete impact on local communities and by extension our entire country. And I think the conviction, there was an awareness that that is happening. And I think that's really special, to know that what you're doing is creating a concrete impact.
Beautiful, buddy. You captured the noble calling of distribution wonderfully. Hey man, we got 1 minute until we go live. Jordan, I really appreciate you being here, buddy, and thank you for all you've done to bring these stories to life and bring them to the world. Thank you so very much, buddy. We'll be in touch, all right?
All right, thanks, Dirk.
Thanks, man. Thanks. So there you go, you guys.
Yeah.
We've got just about 1 minute until we go for the fifth episode, the premiere of our fifth episode of We Supply America, featuring Great Lakes Hotel Supply out of Detroit, Southfield, Michigan. And, let me just share with you real quick. One of the things that I've gotten a couple of emails, a couple of the emails about the production of each show is people say, hey, Dirk, why don't you put the names and titles of the individuals on? That would help us understand. And I want you to know we talked long and hard about that from a creative perspective, and there's pros and cons to it. And one of the things we wanted to ensure that this didn't feel like a corporate capabilities brochure video, because it's not. This is a television show that's championing the noble calling of distribution. And the second thing is when we tested it, we saw that it was distracting from the story rather than adding to the story. So with that, we are so pleased. We are honored to bring to you the fifth episode of We Supply America, championing the noble calling of distribution. And one of those 30,000 independent family-owned businesses that we need to champion is Great Lakes Hotel Supply Company. And here is their story.
Courage would be one of your top few words. If you were asking for one word definition, yeah, and then quick laugh.
Quick one.
Yeah. You can't be successful without courage, because courage means you're taking a risk and getting outside of a comfort zone.
Yeah.
So courage would be one of the top 4, 5, 6 words that I would use to describe leadership.
In a world of social distancing, remote working, personal challenges, and business disruption, there are businesses with their committed, caring, and passionate professionals who kept America supplied. Distribution. It's much more than meets the eye. The pandemic shined a light on the imperative nature of supply. That light, the noble calling of distribution. These are the inspirational stories and lessons from across America. This is We Supply America.
We're up at Southfield, Michigan, with Great Lakes Hotel and Supply Corp., an amazing organization. And we've got Mark and Diane, part of the leadership team, the owner of the organization. and we're going to go find out about all the goodness, the innovation, the culture, and how these individuals supply America.
We have our sales and design department, which we'll pop into.
Hi, baby. Come here, Makush. Come here. Come here.
And Makushla is like our office mascot. We call her the Chief Officer of Office Morale.
Nice.
She's got a very important job. She runs around, she checks on people. She has been known to eat Mark's breakfast off his
I know, that's not a good thing.
But we
though.
forgive her. I got to come clean with Lindsay every month for my expenses, or she will hunt me down.
Yes.
I miss it, which is good. She keeps me on my toes.
hear
So I
you.
love it. I think, just the history, the longevity of this company just shows you the kind of work ethic that runs in the veins of the family. I think it's awesome. You see it every day with Mark. You see it with his son Adam, who's now president of our Wisconsin division, Kessenix, fourth generation now in the family. And I think it transfers over to all of us employees.
And tell me about what you love about being in this business of distribution that happens to be food service equipment.
Yeah, it's a funny industry, food service equipment. And it's been said that once you get in it, you never leave. It kind of sucks you in. But it is fun because, number one, just seeing all the different technology and how fast it's changing, being part of that new technology, being part of a sketch on a napkin to walking into a beautiful, huge facility that we helped design, we got all the equipment for, we installed it. It's fun to see a project from start to finish.
So how long have you been with the company? 5 years. 5 years. What brought you to Great Lakes?
My background is accounting and finance,
Okay, yeah.
and Mark Israel is your textbook visionary.
Okay.
So he sees things that other people don't see.
Yeah.
He sees things in you that you don't even see in yourself.
Is that right?
And I interviewed for a different job,
Amazing.
and then he slept on it, and about 24 hours later called me and said, I see you doing something else for us.
Get out.
I'd like to bring you in more of an operational role. What do you think about it? And I had to sleep on it myself because
Yeah.
that was a bit of a curveball.
Were you coming in for like the accounting role?
Yeah, I was coming in to be his CFO.
CFO, yeah.
And he said, I think you'd fit somewhere else. And
Is that so?
5 years later, and he nailed it.
We all had a big problem last year.
Right.
This pandemic just absolutely devastated businesses, your customer base, it devastated people personally and the like. So tell me about how Mark, and tell me about how Great Lakes Hotel Supply Company and the entire team, what did this pandemic rally you guys around to solve?
A lot of his competitors just started slashing payroll like crazy because all they saw was this dead space and this just trauma across the nation, especially in the restaurant and bar industry. So a lot of our competitors slashed payroll, and he held tight. He knew there was going to be something on the other side, this opportunity on the other side, and he didn't want to be decimated when that happened.
Right. Where does the company find the fortitude, right? When we're watching the 24/7 news, when we're hearing social distancing, when we're hearing restaurants are closing, when we're hearing, hell, I can't even go see my wife after she had a baby, right, in the hospital. Where do you find the fortitude to pick up yourselves by the boots? And when everybody's telling you everything's shut down, you guys found the fortitude to go make something happen. Where does that come from?
Yeah, it's not easy.
Yeah.
It comes from having a team.
Okay.
And one of the things that we focus on is having a cohesive, functional, and healthy team.
Yeah.
And because you need each other. Because one day I may wake up and I'm
need help.
feeling
Yeah.
I'm feeling down, and you need your teammates around you to pick you back up and to tell you everything's going to be all right.
If you don't mind, personally,
Yeah.
did COVID impact you personally?
Big time, right out of the gate.
How?
We had one of my project managers died on March 24, 2020.
Oh my God.
His wife called me on March 23 just to tell me that he wasn't doing well and that he probably wouldn't be at work that day. And all I knew at the time was CDC talking points at the time.
Yeah.
You know, dry cough, fever. Ran those past her. She said, no, none of that.
None of that.
Just kind of nauseous, vomited a few times. He's good. I said, okay. And we never saw him again. So it punched us in the mouth right away.
My God.
This virus became real to us
Quickly.
right away.
How is his widow?
She's hanging in there.
Yeah.
I talk to her often. You know, it's tough to lose a family member,
Yeah.
and then it's even tougher to not be able to grieve, because you couldn't have funerals, you couldn't have visitations, you couldn't even have. She was positive herself, so she had to go home for 14 days and not see any of her family. So for 14 days, she kind of grieved by herself.
So you talked about the financial pressures, but hell, that's easy compared to
Right.
This person.
And maybe that was part of our resiliency. Maybe we right away got some real perspective. You know, you can peel back a little bit, struggle a little bit from a business, but nothing's more important than people and their families.
Yeah.
This place just feels like home. I've never worked at a place that like the ownership and leadership genuinely care about their people.
Can you give me an example, you know, in terms of, you know, that one of those moments when you found yourself in a moment of pause and you said, damn, I'm lucky to be here?
When COVID first hit and everyone got sent home, you know, no, I'm sure no one was thinking about it, but as the world started shutting down and you were hearing on the news, you know, all of the different people that are getting laid off and fired, or, you know, like they were going into this COVID pandemic with no resources, no tools, no nothing, I felt extraordinarily blessed to belong to a place that they never even talked about laying people off. I mean, they might have, but it was never large enough for us to even hear about it. You know, like we went through an entire pandemic never questioning if we were going to get a paycheck, never questioning if we were going to be taken care of. You know, they were extraordinarily supportive when it came to, you know, if people got sick, you know, just here's the protocols, please stay home. Like, we understand you're busy, like, do what you can from there, but don't bring it back here kind of thing. I lost my grandfather to COVID, and they had no problem, like, giving me as much time off as I needed, you know, just to, like, handle that, take care of that with the family. It's just, it changes the way that you work when you work for somebody like Mark Israel or like Dave Hubbard or Tina Cieslak.
Do you have a point of view relative to the importance of independent, family-owned businesses?
Oh, it's huge. I mean, one of the things that they instilled in us here is that we're big enough to matter but small enough to care. You know, you go to even like a restaurant chain, right? So you have Chef Matt, for instance, who has Cork and Gable, a beautiful restaurant built from the ground up by him and his family. That's what he wanted to do. That's what he did. The food that he serves shows that. The way that he greets his customers, the atmosphere shows that. It's the same thing with a company, like a business, you know? If you're so big that the people that pay you to do a job don't matter, then what are you really doing? What is your business model? Like, if you don't know Jim from Peter, like these guys, our customers, when they come in, we know who they are. We know exactly what projects we're currently working on, what projects we've already worked on with them. We get repeat customers because of the way that we treat our customers. It's our bread and butter, and we love what we do. Like, we love helping people realize that they can have a restaurant if that's what they want.
Because that's super easy.
Yeah. Hey, Matt?
Yeah.
Hi, Dirk Beveridge.
Matt?
Nice to meet you,
Very
man.
nice to meet you.
Yeah, looking forward to this.
Yeah, definitely.
You know, you're a rock star. You want to get in line here?
Sure.
Yeah, you're a rock star. You're a rock star. You walk in here and...
I know everybody, that's why.
Yeah?
Yeah, not a rock star. Oh, thanks so much.
Yeah, thank you.
Food to me it's passion and art. I was never an artist. I can't really draw even stick people. But I can always vision and envision things on a plate. I started working here as an employee, actually. Yeah, so about 7 years ago, about 2015, I worked here as an employee, as a chef back here. And then the time came that it was like, okay, it's time to open a restaurant. And, you know, the opportunity came up. And you want to sit over here? So when the time came, it was like, okay, we're gonna open a restaurant. We're gonna get all our equipment from here. These guys were Johnny on the spot. It was like they took me and this concept and my partner. They took us in like family, and it was like we're going to do this for you, we're going to get that done, everything's, we'll let you know when everything's going to be here. A couple weeks ago, just a quick story, my Rationale combi oven went down. And it's a huge part of our business. We need that oven. So I was out here for something, and I was telling him the story about how it broke. And I haven't worked here in a couple of years, and he's like, well, I got 2 of them, so, if this happens and it's an extended amount of time, just let me know and you can borrow one. And this is a $30,000 oven. The guy's like, hey, if you got to use it, you got to use it, man. That's what it's here for. It's all a family here, and whether you work here or you're a restaurant that they supplied or whatever, you're all part of the family.
As I was listening to Shannon, the word love came to my mind. Is there a sense of love?
100%. Yeah. I mean, between all the people here, there's a love, like we want to work with each other and help each other thrive. But even for our customers and for other people out in the industry, we're not against anybody. We are all hoping that everybody does what they can do and stays afloat and survives and keeps going. And what's nice about a company like this, it's 80 years of a family-owned business. It's unheard of. A 3rd generation that's still thriving, that's huge. But that speaks to our core values, and it speaks to our livelihood here. We love to do what we do. We want that to be seen. We want that to be reflected when we're done with a project. We want you to be able to see the amount of love and attention that we put into that project. And I think we do a fantastic job with that.
Yeah. Gin vermouth. Okay, yeah. And then we are going to top it with ice, and we're going to chill it. We're going to aerate it, and we're going to dilute it. We give the glass a nice little spray of the scotch. Properly aerated, properly diluted. And there you have it.
Thank you.
You have your Gibson.
My Gibson.
Yes.
All right.
Cheers.
I am told too that as a bartender extraordinaire, in addition to everything else you do, but you just won an award.
I did. Actually, I just found out this past Thursday that I was voted our Detroit Best Bartender for 2021 for the city of Detroit, state of Michigan. So that was pretty exciting.
Give it to me.
Yes. Yeah.
So what does that award mean to you?
Well, it was a shock because there's so many of us, and then it was also a shock because, we're in a pandemic. Yeah. So you don't even, or I didn't even think, that folks were really paying attention to that so much, but it's pretty cool.
What did the pandemic do to that side of your career?
What it did was it shut it down overnight. It shut it down. It was unbelievable because we were all becoming aware. And I think that we just at first we didn't realize, how important it was, how drastic it was, how dramatic it was, and it was a pandemic, Yeah. You can't plan for that. No. You can't plan for that.
So how about those in the profession with you, right? Those in the bar industry, those in the restaurant industry that you're so close to, right?
Yes, absolutely.
Tell me about the impact.
Well, thankfully for me, I never missed a beat because of my Great Lakes Hotel Supply, opportunity in my job. On that side, I was still able to work every day. Did I work from home? Absolutely. But to keep in contact with the folks that I worked with in the bar, have a couple of sad stories. We don't all do well with uncertainty, and we all don't do well with being enclosed, and we don't all do well without having that constant human contact. Folks that are in the service industry are in this industry for a reason, because we love people, we love to interact with people, we love to serve people. We are at your service, people. And to just have that taken away overnight, your ability to have conversations and to connect, let alone your ability to earn money and to care for yourself and your family. But for me, the most drastic was to not have this human contact. Sure. The connection is what's so important.
We all need it, don't we?
We all need it. I live for it. It feeds me.
So Mark, if you don't mind, tell me about the garden that we're in here.
The garden was something that the vision was, was one of those thoughts on you're driving along or whatever. What can I do different than no one else has ever done And this garden came to me about, hey, I have a culinary kitchen. We can use the vegetables and the fruit in our thing. We can try to help the community, and it brings us uniqueness. And for a couple plants and a few little investment from me for a few dollars a year to have a beautiful place that people enjoy coming, enjoy walking through. Weddings are happening here. I mean, this is a happy place with happy events.
Yeah.
I mean, we've been named the #1 wedding venue in the city of Detroit for 3 years straight.
That's amazing.
It's incredible because it's not even our business.
I was going to say, your food service equipment distributor. What is this?
Yeah, the lady who just made you drinks.
Yeah.
Bartender of the year.
Yeah.
We're the wedding venue of the year, and it's just a hobby.
The role of family businesses, the role of independent family, small to mid-sized businesses in this country, Mark. As one, and a proponent of them,
yeah, I will do anything in my power to help an independent business person out. I will not go to the chains on a restaurant row. I'm going to go to Dirk's Grill. I think it's real important, and it's a piece of the puzzle that government forgets. They kind of fall in between things because they don't get the government help because they're independent, and they're a little bit bigger than individuals. So it's a really tough little segment. I mean, going to small town USA and watching a Walmart close up a drugstore and close up a hardware store because of that, I find that bothers me a lot.
Yeah.
And being in the wholesale logistic business, it's made up of a whole bunch of our kind of companies that are family oriented, that have generational stories. And the last thing this world needs is to have that go away.
Yeah, without question. And the whole premise of We Supply America, right, is that I believe we have this premise that all these small, mid-sized, independent, family-owned businesses supply so much more than the products on their shelves. They supply, again, so much more. From your perspective, does that resonate with you?
Absolutely.
And what would you say these small, family, independent-owned businesses supply to America beyond the product that they sell?
Well, besides the product, we supply lifestyle. I mean, we allow people to grow independently, not in a so structured a form that they can't be themselves.
Yes.
We give them opportunity to go out and be a contributor to the marketplace. And when you're paying someone $12, $15 an hour, that's not how it's done. I mean, I bought a company in Madison, Wisconsin. I looked at the payroll. The first talk I had, I go, guys, everyone in this room is getting a raise. This company hasn't made money. It's not making money. I can't pay people this little and expect you to be a contributor to this society. Everyone gets a raise. One guy quit. He didn't know what to do. But everyone else was happy.
Yeah.
And that's how I feel about it. Independent businesses. I think, the world needs us. Without it, this world will fall apart. And that's why I want to order from that independent.
Proton AI is proud to partner with We Supply America to tell the stories of the industry that we're exclusively focused on serving with our unique software platform. We build AI-powered tools, workflow tools, and sales enablement tools that help distributors grow their revenue. We care a lot about this industry. It's the industry that I grew up in, and we're proud to be a part of this project to help tell the story of the companies that serve America.
We Supply America!
isn't it something? I have to tell you, every single episode and Great Lakes Hotel Supply absolutely touches me at a deep, deep level. And it just reminds me of how important it is what you and I are doing together in bringing this message of We Supply America and championing the noble calling of distribution each and every week. You know, just even how Mark ended today's episode with the world needs us. And it's absolutely true, it's absolutely critical, and it's absolutely something that needs to be championed. You know, um, as I think about what we just saw, you know, words like family, words like customer, words like human connection, innovation, um, helping individuals grow independently, all part of this noble calling of distribution that we need to champion. We need to ensure we're out telling these stories. And so, if you don't mind, let's bring in two of the individuals who started this, the reason why we're telling this story, because of Mark Israel. Mark, hello. And then let's bring in Diane. Diane, are you
Hi there,
guys in the
Dirk.
same room? Diane, are you guys in the same room?
Actually, I'm with Mark.
Yeah, okay,
Yeah,
hold on.
we ended up being in the same room.
Yeah,
We
all
had a
right, no
little
problem.
issue
Okay,
here.
good. So
Together.
there you go.
Technical difficulties.
Yeah, I get it. So come on together like you guys like each other. Come on, like you like each other. There you go. Hey, Mark and Diane,
All right. There we
hello.
go.
Hello.
All
Welcome. And number one, guys, thank you
right.
so very much for allowing us to come up and to tell your story. I'll start with thank you very much, you guys.
You're very welcome. It was a great day, and we enjoyed having you and hosting you for that day. It was wonderful.
Thanks.
Yeah,
So,
it was really
Mark,
fun.
yeah, thank you. And Mark and Diane, you were not you. This was the first time you saw the episode, as well. Can you just give me your initial visceral reaction to what it is you saw, Mark?
My initial reaction is, God, I got great people here. So
Right on, right
I
on.
thought they were wonderful. I thought the questions were great. I thought the answers were perfect. I had a smile on my face for 20 minutes or whatever this episode,
Yeah,
however long it was.
yeah.
So
Thank you, Diane.
It was fun to see. It was just really fun to see. And I was sitting here with Mark, and I was thinking of like his reaction, like when you're talking to Dave or Shannon, and he doesn't hear that stuff every day from them, you know.
Yeah,
So I think it was a really cool opportunity to have them speak from the heart.
thanks. And so let me go to that if you don't mind, Mark. When you heard Dave and you heard Shannon and you heard Carrie and you heard Diane, even you heard one of your customers, Matt, right? Talk about the goodness of Great Lakes Hotel Supply, what you have built, you know, as a multi-generational business. How does that make what goes through your mind when you hear those people say those things about where they go every day for work?
it just reinforces everything I believe in as far as taking care of people, our core values, our way of looking at life and the business and our clients. Um, Shannon, you could just tell was so genuine and so it's rewarding. It really is. I mean, it tells you this is, despite some days that are not fun, this is really fun. This is good, worthwhile. That's what it tells.
Yeah. Diane, how about let's jump on the word that Mark just used, that it's worthwhile. Tell me from your perspective, you know, from what you saw in the film and even beyond that, you know, the worthwhileness of what Great Lakes Hotel Supply does.
Well, we bring a lot of people together in the community.
You bet.
We bring a lot of success to our clients because of a personal approach and a personal interest. You know, like the saying goes, anybody can buy an oven, but what you're not getting is what you really get when you engage with us, because we care, we have experts, you know, we see it through. And not only it's worthwhile to the community and our customers, but it's also a hugely close knit community that Mark has built, I believe, within the company. There's just tremendous amount of support. I think it really means a lot to everybody to be in this type of a family-owned business.
Yeah, Diane, I appreciate that. Oh, go ahead, Mark.
But anyway,
Okay. Yeah, Diane, and if you don't mind, I'd like to build on two things there, if I can remember both of them in real time. But, one of them you talked about, part of the worthwhileness is that to help your customers succeed, right? And, you a key part of your audience, key part of your customers are restaurateurs, right? And I don't know what the statistics are in terms of restaurants and in terms of longevity and the like, but I know it's a tough business. I know it's an absolutely tough business, and the fact that you are committed, right, to bringing that expertise, to bringing that care and that love that you talked about and that Carrie talked about, right, to help them succeed. In my mind, each one of these restaurateurs, they have goals, they have dreams. They're putting themselves on the line. They're putting their financial fortune on the line. They're putting their family on the line. And they come to you. And they come to you and say, help me bring this vision and this dream and this risk to life. I find nobility in that. I find that being worthwhile. Mark, when you hear me say that, tell me what's going through your mind, man.
I'm not sure I can say it any better than that. You're 100% correct. That's what they're bringing here, and we would be remiss. We would not be doing our job. I wouldn't be able to live with ourselves if we didn't care enough about their success and the ability to do it. We have to give them the right equipment, the right design, so that they can fulfill their dream. And if it changes and if it occurs, because the world's full of zigs and zags, we have to be zigging and zagging with them because that's how the world is.
Yeah.
I mean, the COVID thing zigged and zagged everyone. We zig and zag. We help try to support people that needed help during those tough times.
You
And
bet.
we're going to be there.
You bet. In fact, tell me that
Go ahead.
story. It didn't make the because of time. It didn't make the episode. But Diane, will you tell us the story about what you all did to help those restaurants during COVID and the employees in the hospitality industry? Because you won some awards at CIFA as a result of it. It's absolutely a great story of your commitment to your customers and the community. Share that, please.
Sure. So it started with Mark, actually. I mean, we tried a small fundraiser in our Madison, Wisconsin location where we were able to raise, maybe $6,000 just on kind of a grassroots GoFundMe, and we're able to help the restaurant community. Mark called me in his office one day and said, "What can we do? We can't wait anymore. Our clients are hurting. These are the people that helped us build our company, and we got to do something to help." So we did a GoFundMe 2.0. We call it Local Love.
Local
We were
love.
able to raise, we were able to raise a lot of money, had some very generous donors. We engaged the Michigan Chefs de Cuisine Association, the local ACF chapter, to partner with us. And between us, we raised quite a bit of money. We had people apply, and it was all going to sole proprietors, restaurant owners, bar owners, anybody in the food and service industry who had lost an opportunity to work, lost hours, lost this opportunity. So we wanted to try to immediately alleviate some of that pain that they were all going through and feeling. And we're pretty happy with the results, which we could have done more always. But
Always.
yeah, but it was a good feeling, and we know that we did really help some people out indeed.
You betcha. Again, I'll use your word, Diane, worthwhile, and I'll tie it to my word, noble. And I think it's fantastic. So thank you. So if you don't mind, guys, I'd like to pivot for just a second. And, let me just put up two things that I see on LinkedIn. Will Quinn came in and said to us here, he said, nice story about a great owner taking care of their people that take care of its customers. Alan Marks came in and he said something similar. He talked about the employees too. He said, Dirk, thanks for helping tell these great stories. We don't stop and think often enough to thank these folks for their tireless work they do to help their families and their families of folks who work for these great companies. And so, guys, that's just real quick, how your story is touching individuals. And Mark, both of those comments talked about your care of your employees. right? And just some of the things that that I heard. Um, Shannon had said, when you work for somebody like Mark Israel and a company like Great Lakes, it changes the way you work. When you work for a company like this who cares about you. Um, she talked about, the title of the episode is "Big Enough to Matter, Small Enough to Care." Your statement, and she's talking about we really care about each other. We truly are a family here. And Mark, can you just share with the listeners here your view on your employees and their family atmosphere there, and what your employees mean to you, to the company, and to each other?
Um, Pretty tough. It's not a tough question to answer. It's a pretty
Long.
deep question to answer.
Yeah.
Um, the best way, and it's a word that's been coming up in this episode, is that we care. And I think you're noble. No, there's a nobility, but the bottom line is caring and thinking of others. One of our core values is golden rule. It's not, we did a little bit of a take on the golden rule, but it really is just caring about your customers, your employees, your vendors, and being fair, honest, and working hard. I mean, we work. This is not an easy business. This is a grind. You just grind and grind and grind. That's what we do, and it's every day. And sometimes it's thankless, many thankless hours, but deep down, you touch people, and our employees. It's a caring feeling, and we're gonna continue that through our fourth generation and hopefully beyond.
Yeah. Well, Mark and Diane, thank you so much. Thank you for allowing us to come up and immerse ourselves in the business, to come in and tell your story today. Um, and thank you for your time today. And we're going to continue to champion the noble calling of distribution with Great Lakes Hotel Supply and your team, your family, at the center of that. So, guys, thank you so very much. Any last words, you guys?
I want to say thank you to Dirk. I've watched your other first four episodes, and like those comments, that's how I feel when I watch those other four episodes. I can't wait to see them more, and I can't wait to see what you continuing this great cause. So thank you.
Thanks, buddy. Thanks so much. I love it. Guys, you have a wonderful day, and we will be in touch. Okay, you guys?
Thanks, Dirk.
Thank you so very much. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. So there you go, you guys. Our fifth episode of We Supply America. Great Lakes Hotel Supply, just an amazing company, amazing people. People, and I'll use the word that Mark ended with, that care. And, if you listen to the narrative out there in the news and the paper about business, and, sometimes it's not a very positive narrative. And what Mark and his team have showed us is that these independent, family-owned, multi-generation businesses who truly care. There's the narrative. There's the narrative, and that's what we're after with this champion of the noble calling of distribution. So what I'd love to do is I'd love to remind everybody that that all of this is available to you at wesupplyamerica.net. When you go to wesupplyamerica.net, you can go to the episode section, and there is the episode there for you. You get the little description. You'll see all the cast of characters that we talked to. You'll also see the meeting kit, where we've prepared a meeting kit for you so that you can download this meeting kit, put up the PowerPoint, and lead a conversation to lift and shift this information into your business. Okay, you guys? So here is our schedule going forward. Today was week 5 with Great Lakes Hotel Supply. You guys, buckle up, man. Buckle up and get your calendars ready for the next 3 weeks, because we are just going to continue these great stories. You're going to love the family, the Hovis family from Mercer, Pennsylvania next week, where we go in and we learn about Hovis truck and auto parts. Multi-generation. You're going to meet the high school family. You're going to meet the employees. Truly is a great story. The week after that, I can't see in the sun. I think it's August 19th. We go up to Amsterdam, New York. You're going to meet the Hill and Marks family. My day started at 6:30, 7 o'clock in the morning on the bridge with the CEO of the organization above the river there. And man, what a great story. And it just got better from there. And then we're going to conclude the first 8 series at the end of the month with the Granite Group, another great organization that we're going to continue to learn from. And the energy is just going to continue to build and build and build. So I encourage you to continue to follow us. Please go to wesupplyamerica.net. If you haven't subscribed to our newsletter, please do. Each Sunday morning, I sum up the week's activities. I sum up what's on my mind. Our goal is to deliver to you in your email box each Sunday morning the perfect Sunday morning read. My vision for it is that your kids are still asleep, the sun's coming up, you're grabbing a cup of coffee, you sit down, and we give you a nice read, inspirational and insightful. And I'd really encourage you and ask you to go and subscribe to that newsletter and watch all the episodes at wesupplyamerica.net. Okay, you guys? So there you have it. Coming at you from New Cooperative, from the middle of Iowa. Guys, I'm going to disconnect here, and I know we're done, but I am at such a unique place. I just want to show you that I'm inside. They call this a shed. There's one of their applicators. This is their fertilizer shed. Back over here is some of the tanks in which they mix the fertilizers that are applied. And by the way they apply the fertilizers, it's really, they take care of the environment, they take care of the soil with the technology and the like. And just an amazing business. The technology about what it takes to get you and I fed. Distributors that we're talking about to, absolutely. Supply America, the people, the team that I had to meet here at New Cooperative, they are feeding America, and we're going to continue to tell that story as well. So everybody, thank you so much for joining us from inside the fertilizer shed in the middle of Iowa with New Cooperative. I appreciate you following us. Continue to do so, and we will continue to see you out on the road. Thanks, everybody.